So we're going to do your final yearbook layout, and we're going to go after a certain design look. So I'll just show you guys a brief photo presentation before I start the tutorial. Um, so you guys know that I like skateboarding, and there's a lot of things that come along with skateboarding, sort of like the culture of since the 70s, the clothing styles, and then in the 90s, skateboarding mags had a certain design style. So this is an old New Deal ad. You can see a young Ed Templeton right here. And you'll notice that with the designs in like sort of 90s skateboarding ads, um, a lot of it was kind of like messed up. So if you look at this ad, it's not too grungy, but when you look at the main shot's a natural photo, obviously, but then the sequence they've lined up and then they've done a hue saturation on that sequence, right? So you guys have all the skills to pull off something like this with a main photo and then a bunch of secondary photos that you've done hue saturation on. You can cut and line things up as well. So when you look at these ads, you can think of what you would do. Not all of these photos are shot in black and white. Like this might have been shot in black and white, but of course we know that image hue saturation, we can take all the color out of a photo and then up the contrast, and I'll show you how to do that, and that kind of gets you this kind of look. Something that's nice here too is they've done a cut like you guys do along the edge of the person, and then they put the text behind, so overcut text, which looks nice. Classic trans world cover. So a lot of the guy that did a lot of this like old school 90s design for trans world was David Carson. He's a certain designer that really sort of broke the rules in terms of yeah, just making things grungy, distressed, a lot of like different things going on here. It wasn't just like clean sort of boring design, like something was always going on, manipulating photos, etc. And then you can see like some of these covers, how they've cut things up. So I'm just going to do a basic demo on some of the techniques that they're using in this design style. And the assignment will be for you guys to take some, this is a little bit cleaner, I think that's also Carson's though. If you look at his personal work, yeah, it's all grungy, whatever you want to call it. So this is the designer David Carson still. So what I'm going to do, I don't have, if I was in class, I would be using some of your group photos, but I'm not. So recently a skateboarder named Keith Huffnagel died, so I'm just going to do a tribute to him. He was actually in one of those ads I just showed you right now. And for you guys, you'll be using the photos that you shot in class. If you need to get out of the room and shoot some photos, maybe talk to your teacher if you want more photos for this. For the skaters in the class or people who have personal pictures from home, you can email me those pictures. I'll put them on your OneDrive. You can upload them with your phones. You can upload them to your shared OneDrive through the app and then use them that way. So a bunch of different ways to get photos. The file size will be, as always, it'll be in inches. It'll be width 17, height 11. Then we're going to go resolution 300 on this one because theoretically, I might use some of this stuff that you guys are doing on this yearbook layout to put into the actual yearbook, okay? So, Jed yearbook layout. That'll be the file name right there. Those are the file dimensions. And then I'm going to go to an image search of Keith Huffnagel right here. So a lot of these are shot when he's sort of older, right? So I'm going to take one of these for the main photo. Then I sort of want skating shots of when he was a young dude. Tool size large. Keith Huffnagel. Ooh, I like that one. I'm going to grab this one maybe. Right click, copy image. And then the minimum requirement, I'll just put in my center line here for the middle of the spread. My minimum requirement for the photos in this assignment is you just have to use 5 photos, right? And again, it's sort of like a more of a creative requirement because you can use the photos any way you want. When it comes to this design style, it's sort of like the messier the better in a way. So with this main, like you want one main photo that will sort of overcut a lot of the other stuff. I don't know how big I want to put that. Yeah, maybe I'll do it like that. And then you're still wanting to line up things in a basic way though, despite the look being sort of messy. So I'm just going to throw some guides on screen, and I have my main photo now. So then I have room for main photo and then 4 photos down the side. And then I'll do my titling right here. So that'll be my layout, but you can arrange your 5 photos however you want. This could, for you guys, like the shots that you have are all shots of your group, so you can just use the best shots from your group. I know you guys got some great shots of, yeah, Jack flipping off the bars and stuff. Anyway, okay, so I have my main ad right there, our main picture. Then I'm gonna go this is sort of like an example of like something that we would do. That's like a nice collage. It's kind of what we're going for, but so we can't take that straight out. We need to use our own ads. There's a young Huffnagel. Copy image. I'm gonna throw that right here. That comes in with a white border. I might have to erase that. And then might have to chop some of these down a little bit because I'm running out of room. I just have 2 now. So I might, kind of ashamed to delete the bottom of this stair set. Doesn't really show the photo as much, but I need 2 more photos in there. So if you have to size things down as a group, you hold down Shift and grab all your layouts, and then you set that as a guide. When you think about what you're going to do for your group shot, what you're going to do for one of your photos, you can copy in your group shot that you did for the colorize ad and then use that as one of your photos. Maybe that'll be the main one, and the secondary ones could be the individual photos. And then one more. Maybe this guy, an old Thunder Trucks ad. Copy image. If I do this one, then I need to chop it again to fit everything in. Ooh, that'll just fit. Here, let's see if I can. So similar to that one ad we saw where we had the main one had natural colors, and then the rest of them had a certain look to it. If you want to merge images or merge layers so that I can affect them all with the same kind of tone, I hold down Shift, I grab the bottom, see the layers there, I hold down Shift, I had the top layer selected, I hold down Shift, I select the bottom layer, I go right click and then merge layers. So now I have that all as one layer. And I sort of want to have a united look with all those shots. So what I'm going to do, the side shots, is go to adjustments, hue saturation, and then we're going to take saturation down to 0. So we're going to turn that all into black and white shots right there. You can see all the color dropped out of those photos. I'm going to go to image adjustments, brightness, contrast, and I'm going to up the contrast. Brightness, I sort of just want it to have like a very black and white, high contrasty look. And then I'm going to go image adjustments, hue saturation, and I'm going to turn those all, I'm going to colorize them. You can up the saturation again, sort of gives more interest. And then in that other ad, what they did something like that, and then they turned those side shots yellow. So I'm going to sort of duplicate that look. So when it comes, you don't have to use the natural colors of any of your photos, right? Like by merging them and like putting hue saturations on them, you go closer to what this look is going to be like. So then I have my side sequence, and then something you can do with photos with this look as well is sort of cut things up. So let's just throw a what should I throw? Maybe like a mid-gray dark background. And then I'm going to chop this photo up a little bit. So if I go to my square selection tool right there, I select around an area of the photo. Just going to pull this up. So you saw this on some of the ones where they were like chopping little bits out of the photos. And then, oof, it'd be kind of weird to chop this feed over, but let's just see how this looks. I'm going to take this down and interesting. So you're sort of trying to make this look like a bit of a collage. Hide my guides right now. And then I have my basic look. I want to make this look a lot more sort of grungy though, right? So if I go to the background layer and I throw this up, then maybe I can put a black sort of box around the back of those photos, unite them as a photo spread, and then I'm going to start messing up this main photo. So I go back to that photo layer, which I've already chopped up a bit. You guys can get creative with that, chop it up in any different way you want. And I'm going to do a similar thing to what I did with the group photo, is that I go to the eraser tool. Then when you pick a brush, you have all these brushes down here, and you can see where all the texture brushes come in, right? So I have a texture brush right in here, and I'm going to size it up a little bit. And then I'm just going to start messing with this photo. You don't want to make it too obvious what you're doing. Like you want to be subtle and just like chop out the edges a little bit. But that's kind of what I'm doing. And then if you do this to a lot of photos, you can throw them all in. Like you don't necessarily have to do what I've done. You can throw them all in like grid design sort of styles. That's looking okay. Actually, I don't like that white right there because it goes right into the gray. Okay, so then I'm gonna go back to the background layer, and I'll throw a distress on this. So similar to what we did last day. What you're looking for is distress texture. So it's good to pick different textures for different projects. Tools large, so all of these are large. I kind of like the scratches on that one. Looks like a skate deck a little bit. So I'm just going to copy the image right there, and I'm above my background layers. So Control V, and then the texture is going to be really small relatively. So I'm going to pull that up a little bit. Again, I'm going to go back to my image adjustment. So that other ad was kind of, so go to adjustments, hue, saturation. It's all black and white already, so I can throw a colorize on it, take the darkness down, and then I can make it any color I want. I sort of want to go with maybe a yellow like that, because that's matching the tones that I see in the design itself. And I'll drop opacity down on this, and then this becomes more of a subtle sort of Subtle sort of blend right there. Hopefully you can still see on screen that there still is a texture there. I'm gonna go image adjustments, brightness, contrast, and I'll take this down to dark. Image adjustments, hue saturation, color highs. Let's shoot up this up. Oof. Lightness, darkness. I don't want to lose that texture totally. I'm getting pretty subtle right now. Let's see if I can bring that back up now. See what it'll look like. Yeah, something more in like that range. So I have that texture now. I have the main photo. I have united all my side photos and put the same filter on them, so it sort of unites it. This block, I don't like being so clean. I don't really want a lot of clean edges in this design. So I'm gonna also mess up the side of this. Holding down shift when I'm doing some of the partial erases. And then finally I'm going to do titling. So I'll select the text tool. I'm gonna go with black letter if we can get it. Old English, there we go. And we're gonna go select the text color. I don't know why I'm digging yellow so much, but maybe something in that range. And we're gonna go half angle. So once you have your text, you guys know that you can size it up as well. Go Control T, hold down Shift. This is behind that border. I'm going to flip this up to the top layer so that's in front of that main picture. I think this could get a little bit brighter. And then something I'm going to do is remember with titling, like you can do this with the photos too, just throwing in a bunch going off kilter and then roughing up the edges, putting in the texture. That might work. Might work for this look. You're not supposed to do things sort of how we've done them and line it everything up all the time. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do partial erase behind this sort of text where it's cutting over the image so that my roughen angle is a bit more visible. I can do this with an expand layer or whatever it is. I'm going to go down to that Huffnagel. If I go right click and then I go rasterize type, then that turns it into a normal layer. And I'll take opacity way down. And I'll put my brush way up, and then I'm just going to do a little bit of partial erasing on there. So might not be super obvious right away what's going on, but we're sort of like putting everything together. So I have my 5 photos. I've messed them up. I put a distressed texture in there. You could also cut out one of yourselves and extract it and put it on, right? So you know how to cut things out. Just like if I had one person extracted on here, that might look cool. But basically, if you end up with something like this with all your own photos, at least 5, you're throwing a bunch of hue saturation filters on, plus distress, plus using erase to sort of mess things up, and then chopping up pictures, putting them off kilter. Sort of up to you, right? Like you have all those techniques, right? So that would probably be my final look for the yearbook layout. And then once you're done that, you want to save and upload as a JPEG, but you'll have a couple days to work on this. So definitely try to use your own photos, make it look as cool as you can. Again, I want to use some of these in the yearbook if I can. So if you have shots from home, it's probably going to be more interesting than the shots you took at school. But at the end of the day, you can use all your school shots if you want as well. It might just be, this page might just be a tribute to you and your friends, or you and your group, which is fine, okay? So I'm gonna stop share right there, and good luck with that, and we'll talk to you soon. Okay, bye.